Yeah! On this episode of GKB, we're going to be talking about how my birthday present sent me to the hospital. We're also going to be talking about the California wildfires, a crazy true crime update, and much, much more. But check this out. This is wild. So earlier today, I found out that Tubi made a horror movie that is based off P. Diddy. Absolutely insane. The movie is called The African American Psycho, the Hip Hop Freak. Now, in the beginning of the movie, they clearly state that this movie is not based off of anybody specifically, but it is blatantly obvious that they did that for legalities, for legal reasons, and this movie is 100% based off of Diddy. First of all, the main character's name is B. City, I believe, and he acts exactly like Diddy. This movie was so much fun to watch. First of all, what they did right was they basically recreated a bunch of Diddy moments and Diddy memes. So it starts out with Diddy being on, or B City being on the Drink Champs podcast, and they recreate the infamous moment where P. Diddy is making Fabulous feel incredibly uncomfortable on his birthday. You know, he's like looking at him like, he's looking at Fabulous like a piece of steak, and he's like, yo, what's up? I like when you scrambling and scraping for stuff, daddy. Why we don't party no more? Why we don't? And he's just making the whole ruin. You know, Fabulous is just like, what is going on? Like, this dude is ruining my birthday. He's like sexually assaulting me with his words and his eyes. That is one of my favorite Diddy clips. There's so many classic Diddy clips. They also did the one where he calls MTV and asks him to bump somebody else for a spot, and then he throws the stuff and he goes, yeah, that's what I get what I want. I get what I want. Love that clip. There's so many classics that they recreated, and they did it in the vein of American Psycho. So this is basically an American Psycho parody, but with P. Diddy. What I loved is that they incorporated Diddy's umbrella holder. I don't know if he had the umbrella holder for the last couple years, but growing up, I always remember Diddy's umbrella holder, the guy that would just hang out with him, hold the umbrella for him, and he got fat paid. And the guy who played the umbrella holder, it was magnificent. He called Diddy daddy like a million times, and he's just there like hanging on his every word, there to do Diddy's every whim. He's like, yo, daddy, you want this? Daddy, you want that? It was so freaking funny. And they parodied some other hip-hop people, some other prominent people in hip-hop. They got Rick Ross in there. They had Meek Mill doing the bunny hop in the club, the infamous Meek Mill bunny hop video. That was great. They had Cassie in there, and they recreated the whole toxic relationship between Diddy and Cassidy. The guy who played B City was great, dude. The guy who played Diddy was awesome. He got the vibe down. There was some parts where I think, honestly, he wasn't Diddy enough. There were parts of it where I was like, he needs to turn this up a little more, because like he's not acting toxic enough for the role. But all in all, he did great. And the way that they parodied American Psycho was awesome. My favorite, probably. This is maybe my favorite scene. I don't know. There was some good ones, but where they recreated the scene where Patrick Bateman puts on the plastic clothes and, you know, hacks the guy to death while listening to the music. Well, they recreated that scene, and they had Diddy, instead of putting on a plastic, plastic clothing or whatever, instead of putting on a plastic suit, he put on a shiny suit. Like, you know, one of those shiny suits he would have wore in the 90s while he was dancing around, all in the videos, all in the camera. This was a fun movie, and you know what's great about this? Is it was only 56 minutes. This was only a 56-minute movie. I'm not going to get into too much more detail about what happened. I want you to see it for yourself. I think it's definitely worth a watch. I believe that as it goes on, like towards the end, it kind of tapers down a little bit, tapers off, and it's not as funny, not as interesting, I believe. I think they could have done a better job on the latter half of the movie. But all in all, a brilliant concept. Like, truly a brilliant concept. This is probably going to be the best concept for a movie of 2025, for sure. To make a Diddy horror movie is already great enough, but then to make African American Psycho, the hip-hop freak, whoever this is, dude, congrats to you. You are the fucking best. That was great. And you know what? I think it's definitely worth the watch. And I'm ready for way more. Like, let's start cranking these Diddy horror movies out. I think this could be a franchise. Get the same guy, and I think other companies should make a bunch of Diddy slasher movies because it's a slasher movie, is what it is. So he's killing people. He's stabbing people. He's slicing people up, and they got the scene where he's beating Cassie down. I think we need way more of these Diddy horror movies coming out. He escapes from prison with the baby oil. I think that'll be sick. That's my only other gripe with this movie, is that they didn't incorporate enough baby oil. But other than that, chef's kiss to whoever created this. You could tell that it was done on a low budget. It's a Tubi movie, honestly. So, what do you expect there? But I thoroughly enjoyed it. And this was my first Tubi movie, by the way. I've never sat through a whole Tubi movie, but as soon as I saw the article about this, I just saw the headline and I said, boom, you got me. You got me immediately. Speaking of horror, I was kind of in my own horror movie the other day. So the other day, they shut the power down to my building. And usually I'm aware of this. And I remember getting the notice. They always send you the notice. We're shutting the power down for XYZ on January 7th. And I totally forgot. So what I forgot to do was charge my phone all night. So I woke up, power's off, and my phone is like on 10%. So I'm pissed, dude. I'm so tight because I don't know how long the power is going to be off for. It's definitely going to be some hours. But I'm not letting that ruin my day. I'm not letting that stop my activities. I got to go to the post office. I got to do some stuff. So I'm under the impression that the elevator is not working. So I got to walk down 10 flights of stairs in my building. And if you know anything about my building, it's insane. Okay? People getting held hostage, people dying all the time, anything you can think of, it's going down in this building, all right? So what essentially this turned into was a 10-floor haunted house, okay? I know that I joked about taking people through my building as a haunted house tour. Well, let me tell you what, I got the first one. I was the beta tester that day because when I walked down the stairs, as soon as I opened the door to the staircase, it was black. Only the emergency lights were on. So all you had was these little lights on each floor. You had one little light that illuminated a little bit on each floor, but you were pretty much in the dark. Okay, people were walking through with their flashlights. You were in the fucking blackness, dude. And let me tell you, as soon as I walk down, I just feel the vibe. A lot of you were saying, why didn't I turn back? Listen, I probably will not survive in a horror movie. Obviously not. So I start walking down and I see there's like in corners, there's these dark, decrepit corners. And I start to see the ghouls. I start to see the ghouls walking up to me. And every floor had its own surprise. Every floor had its own vibe. Every floor had its own theme. You didn't know what you were getting with each floor. It was 10 floors of terror. I hear the doors opening from each floor. And I was like, oh God, what is that? What is that? With every floor, I had the chance. I had a 50% chance of either getting stabbed up or came on. Because it was either somebody who's going to be running around with a knife, which is very popular here, or somebody was jerking off in the corner and they were accidentally going to squirt it on me. So I knew that two of those things were very, very likely to happen. So I'm walking down. People are walking by me, brushing up against me. I don't know what they got going on. Everybody's looking like a creep. Everybody's looking like a damn ghoul. And it was very haunted house-like because you had the smoke. You had the smoky air of the crack smoke, the smoky air of the weed smoke, and with every floor I walked down with trepidation. With every floor, I saw a new creature. I saw a new ghoul. I saw a new monster. I heard a new sound. Oh, the sounds you were hearing, the sounds that were going on were just haunting. And eventually, I made it all the way downstairs. I survived the 10 floors of horror in my building. Can you believe it? I got to make a t-shirt. I survived the 10 floors of terror. Well, let me tell you this. Somebody did not survive the 10 floors of terror. Somebody was not so lucky. I go to do what I'm about to do. I come back after a little while. And what is the first thing I see when I walk up to my building? Somebody getting stretchered out, dude. Something happened on one of the floors. I don't know. It was if somebody got stabbed up on floor 5 or what happened, but this dude was getting stretchered out. And my first thought was, great. I got to walk back up the 10 floors of terror. So now my bones are getting chills. I'm getting trepidatious again. But then I notice people are waiting around for the elevator. So I'm like, what? Like, why are these idiots waiting around for the elevator? And then it opens up. I was like, just bing. I was like, what? I guess because the building shut the power off voluntarily, they have to keep the elevators on for, the elderly, for the disabled. I'm assuming that's what the deal is. So whatever it is, they kept the elevator on. So I ran right in the elevator, and as soon as I get in the elevator, there's another character asking me for like $5 for an Uber. $5 cash for Uber. I was like, girl, Uber don't take cash. Me and you both know what's going on here. I would have gave it to her anyway, but I didn't have it. So even in the elevator, I was met by some kind of, character. And I just got shuttled up right to my apartment, and I said, maybe that's not the best idea. But you want to hear something crazy? I did it again. Later that day. I walked down a 10 floors. So I survived the 10 floors of terror twice. People getting stretchered out. People getting came on. People getting stabbed up. People getting high. I can't even imagine how many times I stepped in piss. I can't even imagine the fluids that I stepped in. It was crazy. Not a great idea to go down twice, but what you going to do? What was also not a great idea was what I did yesterday. Let's talk about my little trip to the hospital from my birthday gift. So I decided that I'm going to buy myself a brand new knife for my birthday. Not like a pocket knife or anything, like a legitimate kitchen knife. I needed one because mine is dull. Mine is basically a butter knife. I'm cutting steak, and it's like a damn saw, basically, when I'm cutting my steak. So I got myself a brand new razor swing sharp knife. So last night, I'm talking to EJ on the phone, just cackling, just having a grand old time, and I start to wash the dishes. Something in me tells me when I'm done with the actual dishes to stop and come back later. But I said, now let me wash the utensils and all that stuff. So I'm washing, I grab my brand new knife, and I'm really not thinking. I'm on autopilot right now, right? So I decide that I'm going to clean the knife by grabbing the sponge and placing it over the blade. And what I essentially did was jerk off the blade. Just a lot of you are probably cringing thinking about it. Yes, I put the sponge on the blade and went up and down, back and forth, very, very fast. And let me tell you, it did not end well because quickly I felt the knife slice my right ring finger. Just swing. And I was like, I said, EJ, I got to call you back. In a little bit. I got to go. I started to put a towel on it. And let me tell you, the blood just kept coming and coming and coming. I didn't know how bad it was, though, because it didn't look like a large cut, but I really couldn't see because of the amount of blood that was coming out. So I'm putting towels on it, and it's just soaking through the towels. It's not working. So I'm telling myself, like, am I going to have to go to the hospital for a freaking, like, little knife cut? But it just won't stop bleeding. That's the thing. That's the thing that's getting me. But I feel like a bitch. I'm like, I'm going to go to the freaking hospital for a knife cut. So I decide that I'm going to take another 5 minutes maybe. This is probably, it's been around 10 or 15 now. Okay, and I decide I'm going to take another 5 minutes, and if the bleeding doesn't stop, I'm going to go to the hospital. So I put another towel on it. I look down. Everything's all right. I think it's stopped. I think it's starting to dissipate a little bit. I think it's starting to close up. But I look down a second later, and the towel is covered in blood. There's blood on the floor, and I'm like, oh, no, I got to go. So I go, run my ass right across the street to the hospital. Thank God the hospital is right down the street. Didn't have to get in a cab or anything like that. And I actually get seen very, very quickly. I was waiting around for maybe half an hour or whatever, which is not that bad. And they finally bring me into the room, and I take a picture of my wound, which I will show right now. And that's when I noticed that I did not slice my finger. I took a chunk of skin out of my freaking finger, dude. Okay, it was wicked. And the picture I took, I had to take it super fast because the blood just kept coming out. The blood would just start. As soon as I lifted the towel off, the blood would start. It was not stopping. So I asked the lady, I'm like, how good of a job did I do? She was like, oh, no, you didn't do that bad. You're good. You didn't do that bad. You're fine. You're not going to need stitches or anything like that. So I'm like, all right, cool. All right, bet. I'm not even worried anymore. Like, and at this point, it doesn't even hurt, which is crazy. The wound did not even hurt this whole time, if you could believe that. But, so I give her my hand, and she starts to squirt like antibacterial, like, it's not alcohol, but it's some liquid, which I am assuming it's to clean the cut. So I'm thinking she's gonna like do something light. I don't know what I'm thinking she's gonna do. But next thing I know, I see her grab some kind of needle and wham! And I went, like my spirit left my body, dude. My spirit left my body. My legs went up like I was at the GYN. And she looked at me. She's like, I know. And I'm like I'm looking at her like, you betrayed me. You told me it wasn't that bad. I was like, it was the worst. When I tell you I have not been in that much pain in I don't know how long, I'm telling you, I have not been in that much pain in I don't know how long. I was squirming in that chair. I was like, what the fuck? And I told her, like, thanks for letting me know that was coming. Like, she didn't say anything. She was like, squirted the thing, and she went, boom! It felt like a needle. It felt like she just stuck a needle in my wound, which I believe she did. I don't know. But what I missed is that she said she cauterized it. I didn't know what that meant when she said it. She was like, oh, it's not a bad deal, not a big deal. I'm going to cauterize it. So basically, she burned it. She burned my wound. And let me tell you, I was in that office biting my hand, just squirming. I almost shed a tear. It was horrible. It was terrible. And then the next guy came in. He starts putting gloves on, looking at it. I'm like, whoa. What are you about to do, buddy? Hold on there, cowboy. What plans do you got? And he's like, no, it's okay. She just had to, cauterize. And then he wrapped me up. So now my finger is nice and wrapped up. And I have a nice fat wound in my hand, a nice chunk of skin out of my finger, because I decided to clean my knife like a jackass. So my birthday gift sent me straight to the hospital. Unbelievable. Is it unbelievable, though? If you know me, is it really unbelievable? Speaking of knives, let's get to this true crime update. So some of you may remember the Slender Man situation, the Slender Man stabbing that transpired maybe 10 years, had to be about 10 years ago by now, something like that, all right? In America, these two 12-year-old girls, they ended up bringing one of their friends to the woods, and they stabbed her up, and they tried to basically sacrifice her to Slender Man. The creepypasta, the horror figure, the fictional, I repeat, fictional character, Slender Man. And their idea was that they're going to send her to Slender Man land, and then they'll be able to go hang out with Slender Man. And they got sent to mental facilities. They were found not guilty due to insanity, and they spent the last about 10 years in these facilities. So these girls are now like in their 20s. And today it came out that one of the girls, her name is Morgan Geyser, she is being released from said mental facility. They're coming up with a plan that they have 60 days to come up with, and she's going to walk off pretty much after serving, I guess, about 10 years. And obviously people are not happy about this. And what I did not know is the other girl that was with her was also set free a couple years ago, I think in 2021. So this is totally insane, okay? And I feel really bad for the victim. I was pontificating upon this situation earlier, and I was thinking, like, do you hold somebody accountable for their actions later in life for something they did when they were 12? Do you hold them accountable as an adult for something they did at 12 years old, very impressionable age? Well, I came to the conclusion that in this situation, obviously, yes, when it's something that brutal, when it's something that vicious, when it's something that callous, you have to. Because these girls were under the impression that they were going to go meet a fictional character if they sacrificed this innocent girl in the fucking woods. And thank God the girl survived. She was stabbed about 19 times, and she's walking the earth today. Thank the Lord. She's got to feel like she's looking over her shoulder constantly now. That's how I would imagine somebody in this situation would feel. Like just living in fear now, looking over your shoulder, and also thinking, why? Because you give up your life when you decide to take a life. Obviously, for that, when you decide to take a life for no reason, when you decide to take a life, when you decide to murder somebody, and it's not in self-defense or some acceptable situation, you give up your life. And these girls only got 10 years? That's absolutely ridiculous. And everybody, it's pretty much unanimous that these girls should not be walking the street. And from what I understand, wherever this happened, I forgot, like Wisconsin or something, people were saying that this is not far off from what happens over there. This is pretty standard, that people end up walking, that people end up, getting set free for things like this. Is absolutely sad. Like, what kind of life are they going to have outside? Is somebody going to hire them? Somebody going to hire the Slender Man assassin? I think not. We talked about this woman on the show a while ago, maybe a couple months ago. The prison guard in the UK who ended up having sex with the prisoner, and they videoed it and they put it out. Well, she was now sentenced the other day to 15 months in prison.
The recording lasts some 4.5 minutes, during which you gave the prisoner oral sex, then vaginal intercourse in a number of positions, before concluding by giving him more oral sex. You participated with evident enthusiasm. The second prisoner recorded events and provided a commentary by way of encouragement, including saying, "Guys, we made history. This is how we live at Wandsworth, bruv. And you are a gangster. Linda D'Souza Abreu, stand up." The sentence on you is one of 15 months imprisonment.
There is some things to unpack about this clip. First of all, what is going on in the UK with the garb? What is the powdered wig? What is with the... It's just like, it speaks to the vibe of the UK. It speaks to the stuffiness. It speaks to the stick up the ass mentality of a lot of... Not everybody, but, it definitely speaks to like the powdered wig. Bro, what are you, a freaking Quaker? Get out of here with this. And just him describing the clip is crazy. You were bouncing on his penis inside of the prison cell. You were sucking his cock. It's like people were saying, my man is like really studying the footage right there, bro. My man is really investigating that, huh? Doing a thorough investigation of the video evidence. But she's going to do 15 months in prison. And listen, I don't think that's a bad deal. I don't think that's a bad rap at all. What she should do is... Listen, if I can't even count the amount of times that I was scrolling through YouTube Shorts, Instagram Shorts, and X, and I saw somebody posting from prison. What she needs to do is, this is the plan. She needs to hit me up, and I'll be the guide here. What you need to do is, you're going to women's prison, obviously. You need to start filming lesbian content immediately. Start filming. Don't put it out. Because then if you put it out, then they're going to know what's going on. They're going to go in the shoe, blah, blah, blah. Start filming it now. Then when you get out, I mean, she's hot, so this is going to work, okay? Because she's going to get out, and then as soon as she gets out, she's going to go sub to the OF. Content coming soon. Prison content coming soon. She could sell all that for a premium. I mean, who's not going to watch that? And then she could make some other content along with that. But I think she has a very fruitful career ahead of her after this. 15 months in the slammer, you come out, she's already famous. She's probably going to have people sending her letters and commissary. She's going to be doing just fine. Mark Zuckerberg put out a very interesting statement yesterday, one that I didn't think I would ever hear. He is not going to be censoring very much on Facebook anymore. They're gonna stop censoring people. They're gonna stop fact checking. They're gonna stop throwing people in Facebook jail for speaking about hot button topics like immigration and vaccination. And basically, he went on Rogan and said that he was strong armed into doing all that by the Biden administration. Let me say this right now. Ain't nobody believing that. Ain't nobody buying what Zuck is selling. I don't think anybody is, okay? Now, I'm not saying that the Biden administration didn't try to strong arm them, because they totally did. But Zuckerberg was completely complicit. My man was definitely in the crew of people, as Twitter was as well, that was suppressing the real story of the Hunter Biden laptop. They suppressed that. And this dude was up the Biden administration's ass the whole time. He was totally complicit. And the only reason he's changing his tune now is because the world is changing, because the current climate of American politics is changing. So he wants to be a part of that. He's now all of a sudden, it's cool to speak your mind on Facebook. Now all of a sudden, you know why? Because it's going to benefit him. It's going to benefit him. Now it's not cool to be, to be a word Nazi anymore. My mom been thrown in jail, in Facebook jail, so many times she probably can't even count. She don't even say nothing crazy. She's just expressing her political beliefs. She's just espousing her political beliefs. And you should be able to do that. But you know what? It's a privately owned company. You can do what you want, right? But don't try and hit this switcheroo right now. Like, you're doing this for some virtuous reason. You're doing this because you feel that you made a mistake. You weren't making no mistake, bro. You've been on this type of time. Nobody's buying this, dude. And what's up with Zuckerberg having that broccoli hair like he's like a TikToker now? He has that broccoli hair like he's like a Gen Z, like thirst trap TikToker. Mark Zuckerberg is pretty much AI. I mean, the guy loves AI. He's sucking off AI every time you turn around. They incorporated AI into Facebook, AI profiles, and he's literally the walking embodiment of an AI profile. Like, really, like all of a sudden, he has TikTok broccoli hair. He's trying to be fashionable. My man is like literally just programming. He's just literally programming himself to be what he thinks the current generation thinks is cool. That's my take on it, pretty much. Like, he probably doesn't have an authentic bone in his body. The only authentic thing about him is that he's down for the money. He wants the money. He wants to, he wants the clout. This is not, Facebook is not doing this because they feel like they did you a disservice, because they feel like that they were wrong by suppressing what you were saying. They're only doing this because the current administration is about to leave. They were up that administration's ass, and now a new administration is here. So now he wants to be buddy with Trump because he's about to be running stuff. Please, bro, please don't even give this dude the time of day. This dude is he's a straight up bot, bro. He's a straight up bot for the government, and it's very, very transparent. This clip is going viral right now. Elon Musk tweeted it. It's all I see on my X. It is about this LAPD chief, I believe, and she's talking about DEI, essentially, in the LAPD. Listen to this.
You want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand their situation better.
Okay, first of all, let's stop this right here. Let's stop this right here. The last person I want to see in an emergency is somebody like me. The last person I want walking into an emergency is somebody that's 140 pounds and half blind. No way. I would be like, yo, bro, turn around and get somebody qualified for the job. This is what it's about. It's not about being qualified anymore. It's about checking boxes. Let's continue.
Is she strong enough to do this? Or you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire, which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
How absolutely disrespectful. Probably the most disrespectful thing I've heard in 2025. Okay? It does not matter how somebody got themselves into that situation. As an emergency caregiver or whatever, you're supposed to be there to save them. No matter how, no questions asked, you save them. That's like if a hostage negotiator, right? Like if I get trapped in a 7-Eleven and I'm getting held hostage or held hostage in a bank, the hostage negotiator comes up, I would really help you, but who told you it was a good idea to walk in that 7-Eleven? You know that it's a dangerous neighborhood. Why would you walk in there? I don't think I'm going to help you. All right, have fun. Like, what? Like, imagine if the hostage negotiators that were here the other day in my building when the woman was thrown into an apartment and held at knife point, if the guy was like, Yeah, we heard that you have a history with this guy, like he was your boyfriend. I think that you should be picking better men. I don't think we necessarily have anything to do with this. I think this is between you and him. You need to pick better men. You put yourself in this situation, so we're gonna get out of here. Imagine that. But that's what this world has come to. That's what this the entertainment industry has come to. It's all about checking boxes. It's not about qualifications. Listen, not everybody's qualified for every job. I am not qualified to be a fireman. Okay, even though I'm Spanish, even though I have a disability, I don't want to be no fucking fireman. I don't want to be a police officer. I don't want to be an astronaut. I do not want to be plugged into an occupation that I do not belong in. And everybody should feel that way. But no, because apparently it looks good on a poster, because it looks good in a commercial, we're going to do it. Well, we're going to see where that ends up, because LA is already a shithole, and it's going to be an even more of a shithole. Now, that first of all, the police, well, you know what? Let me say this right now. The police don't even do anything in LA. So what does it even matter, right? The current climate in terms of laws and politics in LA, the police don't even do anything. They can't defend you. You can't defend yourself. So what does it matter? Hire elderly people, hire blind people, hire people in wheelchairs to be in the police, because it doesn't matter. They don't do anything anyway. So what does it matter? The LA Fire Department, a very similar clip of the chief of the fire department came out and went viral, where she's saying the same thing, that she wants to hire queer people for the job, and it's not because they're more qualified. It's not because they're going to do a better job. Like, it's not like, oh, we did a study and gay people are better firefighters. Listen, if that's the case, bring them on in. Bring all the gays you got. If the gays are the best firefighters, go ahead. But that's not true. So we're just doing this for vanity. These are vanity hires, and we're going to see exactly where that ends up, and we're already seeing it. Okay. Speaking of LA, speaking of California, let's get to these wildfires.
Oh my God.
Oh. All right, dude. Yeah, let's get out of here. We tried, bro. I'm sorry. We tried our best. Yeah, and when this tree falls, it's over. I'm sorry, bro. Gotta get out of here. Oh, shit. Holy shit. Is that tree?
Is there anything we can do to help you, sir?
You can take these paintings, I guess.
But this is like a hurricane in the middle of a brush fire. You've got people right there. Is that a homeowner that's trying to leave? Is this your house?
Yeah.
Which is your house?
Yeah, this is our house. Backyard's on fire. I'm out of here.
Oh my gosh. So what happened? Is there anything we can do to help you, sir?
You can take these paintings, I guess. I can't ride with these.
Listen, I'll take them for you. I work at NBC.
Thank you.
I'll make sure you get them. But we've got these. We've got these from you. You come and find them for me at NBC. But again, so here you see.
Taking my bike out. See you guys.
Okay, someone leaving. He just told me, this gentleman, that his home is on fire. His backyard's on fire.
I'm not sure what the current state of the wildfire will be as I release this, because I'm recording this about 2 or 3 days before this episode comes out, so I'm not sure. But right now, what we know is these wildfires, they began on Tuesday the 7th at 10:30 a.m., and there are no signs of slowing down. It is a horrifying situation. Billions and billions and billions of dollars in damages. Tens of thousands of people lost homes. This is insane. And I know I said that, this is going to come out a little bit after I record this, so I'm not sure what the state's going to be, but let's talk about some things that are going to be relevant no matter what. So right now, the first thing I'd like to talk about is when I first started watching the live stream of the fire, I saw the anchors were pulling this stupid move where they were trying to convince everybody. They were trying to persuade everybody to feel bad for the celebrities who lost their homes. And listen, I'm not saying you shouldn't feel bad. I'm not saying that I don't feel bad for celebrities that lost their homes. What I don't like is these anchors trying to tell you how to think. Because the reason they're saying that is because they understand the current population's mindset and the current the population's beliefs and feelings about the upper class and the elite. They understand that people are tired of the elite, that people are tired and sick of the upper class getting over on them, taking advantage of their wealth, taking advantage of their status, getting preferable treatment, doing all the things that they've been known to do for years and years. And as the time has gone on, as we've seen with the healthcare dude that got shot, people are tired of it. People are tired of getting taken advantage of. People are tired of watching these people flaunt their wealth in their face. So that's what the news anchors were trying to do. They hit you with, we know that everybody is at a different economic status, but we would like to say that no matter where you are financially, everybody's a human being. Everybody is important in this situation. So please, it doesn't really matter how rich people. They were essentially saying, like, please feel bad for the rich. Please feel bad for the rich. Let me tell you right now. I'm not saying, again, I don't feel bad. But the thing about this is that you're not on equal playing field with this. Of course, they're all in this situation together. They're all in this horrifying situation, this disaster together. Your home is getting burned up just like Paris Hilton's home. But here's the deal. You're not on equal footing when it comes to recuperating. You're not on equal footing when it comes to bouncing back. And everybody knows that. That's why people are not giving a fuck about them. Because they know that the average person just lost everything. The average person who knows how they're going to bounce back from this? But the average celebrity, they have a job lined up, probably multi-million-dollar contract lined up in a couple months anyway. They have other homes that they're fleeing to, which we've seen. The millions in the bank, they're going to bounce back just fine. Is it sad? Yes. But they will be fine. The normal average citizen of Los Angeles, of California, will not be. So you know what? Let's not talk to the average person like a fucking third grader. Let's not talk to the average person and patronize them and try and tell them how to think. But that's what the news is about. They try to tell you how to think. So that pissed me off when I heard that. Don't try and talk down to me like that. And you should feel bad for these people. And let me bring this up too, because we're going to talk about how there's no water in California. And that's a big, massive issue right now, is that there is no water to put out these fires. Firefighters are using bags. I've seen a firefighter use a traffic cone to try and put out a fire. People are using bottles of water. They're using anything because they drained one of the reservoirs, which had like 117 gallons of water in it, something like that. Gavin Newsom is doing nothing. Everybody knows it. But I say all that to say that the same people they're telling you to feel bad for were the same exact people that years ago, when California was going through the drought, they had put restrictions on how much water Californians should use. And not too long after that, the article came out about Kim Kardashian, about Kevin Hart, about a bunch of celebrities who were getting fined because they were using way over the allotted amount. They were using like 120% over the amount of water that they were supposed to be using because they wanted to preserve the water. So they're filling up their jacuzzis, they're filling up their bathtubs, their hot tubs. They're just wasting water. They're just letting water run because they feel like they're entitled to it. People are tired of the entitlement of these people. That article disgusted me, truly, because they do not care. They do not care. The government of California does not care. And I'm not saying it's just California, but we're speaking about California in this. Oh, trust me, it's Chicago, it's New York, it's all those places. This is becoming another Maui where people are, surmising, where people are having theories of why this is happening, of how this is happening, if this was even natural. Are they clearing land so that they can start developing over this stuff? A lot of questions need to be answered. And the sad thing is a lot of these questions will never be answered. But what I have been seeing is that people are starting these fires. There are arsonists all over California. I've seen it all over my ex.
We're at 302 Pico, and people are lighting fires now. You can see they lit a fire. These guys, not all the people there, but some of those guys lit that fire, and
These guys are
they're actually, the trees caught fire, and then the palms are catching fire. So civilians are now lighting fires.
I mean, it's just a bad situation, and my heart goes out to everybody going through this who lost a home. And another aspect to this, which is indicative of the government of California not caring, is that the mayor of LA cut the budget of the fire department. Out of all the budgets to cut, you're going to cut the fire department in LA, Wildfire City. You're going to cut the one budget that's going to save your ass in this exact crisis. What sense does that make? Again, people are absolutely sick and tired, and this is only going to get worse. What was an interesting aspect of this fire? On the news, they saw an Amazon delivery guy working during the fire, bro. Yo, bro, Jeff, take it easy, bro. All right, like you're doing a little too good. You're overachieving. It's like the kid in class that you're doing too much. You're doing too much. Where are they? If that package isn't water, then it should not be there. What could it be? What could it be that you need to deliver right now? Hold that shit at the Amazon facility. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna send these people out. You're gonna get burned up and shit. If that package is not full of water or fire extinguishers or whatever, leave it at the facility, bro. It's all good. But that's Amazon. That's what we're saying. You're going to have normal people working to the bone during these crises, and the people they're telling you to feel bad for, they're headed right for their second home. Insane. And some people are evacuating their homes. They're being told to evacuate. Oh, this was great. I found another video as I was watching it live, actually. They were talking about how the emergency notifications were coming up, right? Like, oh, you have to evacuate. Turns out that California was releasing mistake announcements. That they released these 2 evacuation announcements that were mistakes.
Many of you might have received yet another evacuation alert. It was sent to Los Angeles today. We got it here in West LA, and a lot of you are actually DMing us and asking us whether or not this was a legitimate alert. Well, it happened around 4 o'clock. No new evacuation orders have been issued. The alert was sent in error. A similar evacuation alert was sent yesterday to Los Angeles County residents on Thursday afternoon.
We can understand the panic that sets in, though.
People are still on
so
edge.
much going on.
Fires are still breaking out. There's still winds to deal with.
Yeah, listen, we're here, and it shakes us.
Yeah.
So I understand.
People are wondering, is this something I should take seriously? And they tell us to take it seriously. Right. So
exactly,
it's crazy that they need to figure out that alert system out.
Well, yeah, we need to really get to the bottom of that, because that's the second alert that is an error.
In this high pressure situation, in this crisis, you're going to make these dumb mistakes where you're going to have people, they're already in a state of disarray and fear and fright. And now you're going to be releasing false information. Now you're going to be releasing misinformation. It's unbelievable on every aspect how they're fucking this up. And truly, it's not unbelievable, actually. I don't know why I'm saying it's unbelievable. It's not. But people are evacuating their homes, and some people are lucky enough to where, the fire jumps their house and they goes to the next house, or maybe the whole neighborhood is intact and it didn't end up going there. So some people's homes are intact. And obviously, you're going to get looters. And it's sickening. Like, how much more can I say about it? There's nothing more than I could say about it except for that this is California. So what's going to happen is these people are going to get let off scot-free. Obviously. Same thing if it was in New York or Chicago. These people that are looting are going to be let off scot-free, and they'll probably be let off scot-free with the belongings that they stole from the house. They'll probably get it right in a little plastic baggie. The police will probably help them bring it to their home. They'll probably, bring them across state lines with the stuff they stole. That's how it is. I was seeing that one of the arsonists that they're saying was trying to start a fire, they let him out. The police arrested him. He was with a blowtorch trying to light stuff on fire, and they let him out. So I'm not sure where exactly the situation is going to be by the time this episode comes out. It's very bad right now. And we'll see how this develops. But again, my heart, my prayers go out to everybody in California. I'm only shitting on the people running the show. I am not shitting on the actual people of California. My heart goes out to you, your families, and everybody that's dealing with this. I'd like to discuss one of my new favorite genre of videos before I get out of here. And that is deaf people fighting on social media.
Get my face, you weird. What you are like, you're lucky. I have it all. Number one.
Deaf people fighting on Instagram Live and TikTok Live. It's the freaking best, bro. And then this chick pulling out a gun and putting it to her own head. It's like now, but since they're deaf, I don't know, since they're signing and doing the deaf talk, I don't know what's going on. Is she threatening to kill herself? One of my favorite clips so far, and I want to know everything about what's going on. And that's the sick part, is that I want to be in the business. I want to be in the know. I want to know the tea and the drama, and you can't. I got to send this to some people who know sign language, who know how to read all that, because I got to know what led to the point of them pulling guns. There has got to be some drama in the deaf community. Like, is there like a deaf community and then somebody's signing about the other one on live, and then like somebody calls the other one on FaceTime, and it's like they sign like, yo, did you see what they just signed about you? And then they go on and they whip out the guns. It's so freaking funny, dude. Absolutely hilarious, hysterical. And that's what I thought should end this show on a little bit of a light note, if that's what you want to call that. So there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. We'll see how everything progresses with the state of California. We'll see how everything progresses with the state of my finger. Peace and love. See you next time.